What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and beautiful people of the Crasher community? How are you guys doing today? And welcome back to another episode of DoorDash delivery and tips. And in this situation here, well, guess what? It actually does involve a tip, but that doesn't exactly stop the DoorDash delivery driver from acting unprofessional either way. And what we have here is an article to document that. DoorDash driver sparks outrage after insulting customer over $5 tip. Wow. Okay, let's get into the juice here. A DoorDash delivery driver is sparking outrage online after insulting a customer for tipping him $5 on a $20 pizza order. So that $5 out of $20, that is like a 25% tip right there. So we're already off to a bad start. Yikes number one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure there's gonna be more yikes to come up when it comes to this article here. Food delivery apps have become a major part of everyday life for many people, especially after the global health issue forced everyone indoors. Now, folks turn to apps like Grubhub and DoorDash when they're feeling hungry but aren't interested in leaving their house or cooking. But with the rise of food delivery has come another major issue: tipping. The topic of tipping culture has become a major point of conversation following the global health crisis, sparking debate across the net in several viral videos and posts as more and more businesses implement tipping systems. Now, I have said this time and time again, but once again, I'm going to reiterate myself when I say that I am all for tipping, okay? I am pro-tip, but I'm pro-tip under the context, under the premise, if you will, if the services are completed and then you tip accordingly, not being expected to tip before the service is even started, because how do we know what we're getting ourselves into here? I mean, for all we know, yeah, the person that we tip before the service is complete could actually be a bang-up individual that does exceptionally well when it comes to customer service, and therefore they deserve a tip and maybe a little bit of extra bonus at the front door. But if you are expected to tip before the service is complete, then what if you end up coming across someone that doesn't give a shit about customer service, that is sloppy, arrogant, rude, etc.? Do you understand where I'm going with this here? Like I've said this time and time again, as a traditionalist, I believe in the tipping thing after the customer service is complete, but it's completely ass backwards to be expected to tip before the service is even started. This topic has come up once again after a DoorDash driver's interaction with a customer was caught on her Vivint smart doorbell camera, and it's kicking off a ton of outrage online. On June 2nd, the doorbell clip was posted to social media from a variety of different sources, many of which went viral. The footage shows a delivery man handing his customer a pizza before giving her a scathing comment. "I just want to say, this is a nice house for a $5 tip." Oof. That is, not good. That is very, very not good. That's yikes number 2 for me, dog. The woman appeared taken aback and replied, "You're welcome." However, the driver got the last word saying "fuck you" to the woman before leaving the scene. Okay, that is a trifecta of yikes right there. What in the absolute hell is wrong with you? And this outburst is coming from someone that actually got tipped. So, like, are you kidding me with this? And here's the thing as well, okay, is that I do kind of sort of understand and sympathize with delivery drivers, okay? They're not exactly in the best of situations. They have to rely on their own devices to be able to get somewhere in this industry. I understand that. And rather than taking out your frustrations on the customers, you should put that energy towards the people of power that could actually make a difference if you were just straightforward with them. I'm talking about the higher-ups, the management, the bosses, etc. But to take out your shit on customers that make orders and just want to go about their business, like, that's not okay, man. That is definitely not a good look. And it definitely doesn't give the company you represent a good look either. According to TikToker Noah Glenn Carter, the woman's order was $20. The driver driver's comment has kicked up a storm of outrage across multiple social platforms, with many commenters unhappy with how he handled the ordeal, especially considering the tip he received was apparently 25% of the total order. And not to mention as well, that tip was done preemptively. That tip was done before the customer service had started. So that is also something else I want you guys to keep in mind. How incredibly rude, one viewer wrote on YouTube. What did he expect for a freaking pizza delivery? A $50 tip? He didn't even deserve that $5. He should be fired. Well, I definitely think that he should be very much harshly disciplined, and maybe he needs to shape himself up, or simply put, ship his ass out of the customer service industry, because it's clearly not for him. I say $5 is good, since it was a $20 order, another person said on TikTok. Seriously, what do they expect? More than what the order is? And you know what? That's a fair question, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if it was a $10 tip. That is 50% of the $20 order. So, I mean, here's the thing, is that regardless of tips, like, you should be very happy and very gracious with the customers that tip you, because they recognize that tipping is, in fact, a thing. And while people shouldn't be entitled and begging for tips, when tips are given, then that right there is something that you should take with grace and with dignity, not with this type of behavior right here. And there's actually some comments right here that is in this image right here, and there's one that I actually want to point out here. This one comes from Jax on Rocks. They say, I worked for 2 years as a dasher, and this is so inappropriate, especially when there's people out there tipping absolutely nothing. And you see, that right there comes from someone who actually has experience as a delivery driver. However, others are defending the driver's actions, saying that the $5 simply isn't enough for his work. $5 is fine percentage-wise, one user wrote on TikTok, but that won't cover anything for the dasher, so I can imagine his frustration, to be honest. And, you know, here's the thing, is that I do have some level of sympathy for the delivery drivers, because they're doing all this shit on their own devices, on their own dime, on their own gas. I get all that shit, but the absolute last thing that you do in this situation is take out your shit on customers. Like I said previously, if you got issues, if you have a problem, then take it up with someone who can make a difference. Take it up with someone who is in power that can make changes potentially. Like, I know what I said is a lot easier said than done. I get that, but I don't think taking out your anger on customers is going to be productive either way. It's common sense that they should be treated differently in tipping, because dashers are wasting gas to get your food and deliver it to your house, another argued. And while that right there is true, that they are wasting gas to get your food and deliver it to your house, you want to talk about common sense. Well, last I checked, common sense doesn't involve berating and insulting customers over freaking tips. This is just the latest DoorDash fiasco to go viral on TikTok after a driver for the company slammed a customer's order on the ground after they failed to tip them. Now, I had actually already talked about that in a previous video as well, and said video will be linked below in the description. So to wrap things up, I have a lot of sympathy when it comes to delivery drivers, I really do, but acting in ways that are conduct unbecoming of the customer service industry and the companies you represent definitely ain't it, chief. And I actually had a conversation with my mother about this on a side note, where she is very much pro-tip. She has spent many years in the customer service industry, and she don't agree with things like this. Like, obviously, yes, when someone does customer service, it's rather customary to give them a tip accordingly, and also to be generous, especially if they give immaculate customer service. But if you're expected to tip someone before the customer service is rendered and completed, that right there is where things are not only ass backwards, but that is something that just doesn't really track. You know what I mean? Logically speaking, it doesn't track. But with that being said though, ladies and gentlemen, these are just my own thoughts and opinions on the matter. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I would love to hear you guys out either way in the comments down below. With that said, that is it here for the video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for your time as well in viewing this video. Have yourself a damn good one, you beautiful people. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I'll see you guys next time.